Once upon a time, a day not favorable for man to go fishing in the river. Nkafo and his wife, ignoring the rules of their village, made their way to the river Oti to catch some fish for dinner. In the village of Ankafo, the native knew not to visit the river on Tuesday. Nkafo said to his scared wife, "Do not be afraid, my wife. It's all superstitious stuff." Nana, who was still scared, did not go near the river. Nkafo caught the biggest fish and went on his merry way with his wife. What he did not know was how his disobedience was going to change his life forever. The next morning, screams and wailing echoed through every compound in Ankafo. The firstborn daughters of every house had passed away from a mysterious sickness that night. The villagers mourned their children as they all gathered in the town square, scared, with the chief priest and the chief. The place went quiet as the chief priest began speaking. "The gods have spoken. Someone went fishing on a forbidden day and caught a big fish." He paused. Nkafo glanced at his wife, who was visibly shaken. They knew they were the culprits. The priest continued. "The fish was no ordinary fish, but the princess fish," he said, then pointed to Nkafo. "Your daughter shall be betrothed to the fish prince." All the natives turned to Nkafo with anger and hatred in their eyes, as one young man shouted, "So you are the reason why we lost our children." They all began to attack him, but was stopped by the chief. "Stop! The fish prince requests that his daughter be brought to him." One man shouted, "He is a newlywed. He doesn't have children yet." The priest turned to Nkafo and said, "She is with child. The day she turns 18, she will be betrothed to the fish prince," he said with some finality, and walked off, and so did the people of Ankafo. Surely, like the priest has said, Nkafo's wife was pregnant and gave birth to a beautiful girl and named her Ima. She was the most beautiful child in Ankafo and grew up well. She was kind, caring, and understanding. Everyone in Ankafo wanted her for their son when she was old enough to marry, but they all knew that was impossible. She was betrothed to the prince of fish. They all knew except her. Ima loved Ankafo River. She would swim and never get tired. She felt attracted to it in so many ways she did not know. As Ima neared her 18th birthday, the people of Ankafo began to whisper amongst themselves. One day, on her way to the farm, a girl Ima's age said to her in a malicious tone, "How does it feel to be betrothed to the fish prince?" The group of girls burst out laughing. Ima, with a confused expression, asked, "What do you mean?" "Oh, so your parents have not told you yet? Okay, let me let you in on the secret. Your parents, almost 18 years ago, took a fish in a river on a forbidden day, and every parent lost their firstborn daughters. The next day, to appease the fish king, the gods are offering you as a bride to the fish prince," she ended with a smile. "In some few weeks to come, You'll be taken by the fish people, she said sarcastically. Ima did not believe her and hurried home. Her parents, oblivious to Ima's return from the farm, confirmed what she was told. I can't give my daughter away to some fish god, her mother said with tears as her father consoled her. We have to, my love, or else the village would plunge into total chaos. Ima's world began to spin. How did she miss such an important detail of her life? She wandered away from home, walking through the thick forest of the night. Under a big oak tree, she sat, lost in thought. An old man with a heavy load approached her. He looked tired and weary. He asked, "My daughter, I have walked so many miles to get to this village. Can you give me water to quench my thirst?" Ima, kind, looked at the old man with pity and led him to her parents' house. "Sit down, sir," she said, as she laid a table of food for him. "Please eat this food and drink enough water." It was her dinner, but she gave it up to him willingly. After the old man was done, he said to her, "My daughter, they will come for you surely on your 18th birthday, and they will try to take you away. Take this water," he said, handing her a small bottle of water. "Pour it into your mouth, and as they drag you down, release the water in your mouth into the river. You'll be free." With saying that, the old man walked away. Ima could not comprehend all the old man had said, but nevertheless, she said okay. Ima watched as the old man walked away. Her 18th birthday, Ima woke up early with joy and danced. She held the bottle the old man had given her. As she stepped out from her hut, she was enveloped by the palace guards, surrounded. The whole village had gathered in her compound, some looking at her with pity all over their face, and some were joyful. She heard her mother's pleas and screams. "Please leave my daughter alone." The walk to the riverbank was long, but Ima stayed silent and thought of the old man along the way. The chief priest and the king were already at the bank of the river. "Ma, your parents took the river god's daughter 18 years ago. It's time to pay back. The gods of the river will take you today," Ima said. "Before that, can I drink water?" she said with a calm demeanor, and her question shocked the natives of Ankafo. She drank the contents of the small bottle and held it in her mouth as the guards drew her into the river immediately. Immediately, the river began to form a tornado. Ima battled with the mermaid prince. She fought them off, as many as they came. She disposed the water in her mouth into the river. Like the reverse button, the river vomited her out in front of everyone's eyes. As she lay there panting and catching her breath, her parents ran to her side. The crowd ran out of fear. Ima's story spread like wildfire, even to other neighboring villages. She was called the girl who was rejected by the gods. That evening, Ima dreamt of the old man, sitting on the throne. He said to her, "The river in Ankafo does not mix with other rivers. The water I gave you means you've paid your debt for the rest of your life." Ima jolted out from sleep. She said to herself, "It pays to be nice to strangers sometimes," she said. and went back to sleep. This is the story of a kind-hearted Ima and how she was able to escape the fish prince.